Art Rooney II, president of the Steelers, had this statement today, deeply saddened by the passing of Mike Wagner, a tremendous player and integral part of some of the most successful teams in Pittsburgh Steelers history. Mike played a key role in those championship teams of the 70s. As a member of 4 Super Bowl winning teams, his toughness and consistency were paramount to our secondary. His contributions on the field significant, but it was also his steady presence and team-first mentality that truly defined him. On behalf of the entire Steelers organization, we extend our heartfelt condolences to Mike's family. He will always be remembered as a champion, a great teammate, and a proud member of the Steelers family. All right, moving on, and always hate to hear those stories to good people like that, and 76 is too young. And I say that as someone who's getting older too. I just hate to see it. But Chris, there were some major developments today in the Olympics. We saw 3 overtime games, 2 of them involving Canada and USA. And you know, this year they went to 3-on-3. They've had that. And I thought it was exciting. Didn't take too long in Canada's win. They got it rather quickly. USA waited a few minutes into it before they finally got their game winner. But the bigger news, of course, was Sidney Crosby. When I look back, and I was looking back at different videos and angles and everything else, Radko Gudas, who's not a clean player, he's crossed the line several times, but they were going after Crosby pretty good. When you looked at that hit, did you think it was a malicious hit or just something that happened in the context of what happens in a hockey game?
I know it's easy, and I kind of want to just because I hate the Flyers, and Radko Gudas used to be a Flyer, and now the Penguins won't have a chance to get revenge because they've already played the Ducks twice this year, his current team. I did not see dirty hit there. Crosby was already kind of going to the ice and had kind of had his knee buckle a little bit before, like split second before the hit got put on him. I know that a lot of the doctors on Twitter who are actual doctors who analyze video think this is MCL and 2 to 6 weeks and everything else. I don't think the hit was dirty, but Bob, this does underscore what people have a debate about all the time. We know the players want to play. We know it matters to them. We know that it's like Crosby's gold medals and everything else are going to be a huge part of his legacy for Canadian fans in particular, obviously. But if you're a Penguins fan and he misses significant time because of this and it derails what has been sort of a mini Cinderella season for everybody but Bob Pompeani, who saw this team as a playoff team before the season started, of course, then how are you not frustrated to all get out by this outcome? Like, I am. Like, and I get it. Everyone likes the Olympics. Every 4 years it's put on red, white, and blue, and we're going to get fired up about every one of these sports. But the Olympic hockey tournament is NHL versus NHL at the highest levels. The best teams are just all NHL players or almost completely comprised of NHL players. And so I have a hard time getting as worked up about it. It's a high-level exhibition, and this is my opinion, and I know it's not going to be necessarily a popular one. I'd rather see Sidney Crosby healthy for a playoff run and try to get an improbable 4th Stanley Cup on his trophy case. It doesn't matter to me that he would play in the Olympics or not play in the Olympics, especially when stuff like this can happen.
Right, it's one of the reasons why they didn't do this for a while. Then they did, and players seem to insist on having it as one of those labor things that they all wanted. And yes, there's risk, but I guess I will go the other way a little bit and just say you can get injured anyway. We've seen guys get injured with non-contact injuries. We've seen guys do it in training camp, off the field in the summertime. So, I mean, you can't worry about every little thing that's going to happen to you. I agree with you. I don't like Gudas at all. I think he is a dirty player. But I didn't necessarily think that hit. I thought his leg was buckling ahead of time. But also, there were some hits before that. And he got hit a few times in this game. It could have been a combination of a lot of things. Not sure. But, man, hopefully it's not a season-ending situation like it was for Kevin Fiala of the Kings, who had his situation. And I didn't think that was a dirty hit by Tom Wilson either. I thought it was a hit, but it wasn't a dirty hit. So, you know, it's all part of the game.
Just imagine if this is much earlier in Crosby's career and the Penguins maybe haven't won a cup, right? And they look like, you know, he looks like he's on his way to the Hart Trophy, just hypothetically. And this same kind of thing happens, and they look like they're ticketed to be the best team in the Eastern Conference. And he goes down for 6 to 8 weeks, and even when he comes back, he's just shaking off the rust, and it derails their season. I just would have a very hard time saying, well, the players really want to do this, and it is the Olympics. That would be secondary to me. And I think Crosby himself, by the way, even gave the game away when he was asked by Team Canada for a Team Canada promotional video. Greatest career accomplishment. He said Stanley Cup. That's all I need to hear from the man himself.
He did say that, and I understood that. Just because of what it takes to win one of those versus
It's
going
a
against
crucible.
an Olympic team or series that does not have Russia, number one, has a bunch of games that were 11-2 and 10-1. You really don't get down to it until this round, and then the next round, semifinals into the finals. But yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it is risky business, and I know teams. I remember who was it? John Tavares of the Islanders, who got banged up, and they lost him, and they were a good team at the time, and their front office was not happy with this whole decision that he made to play in it. But what are you going to do? It's the players, they want to be involved, so we'll see. Let's go to the phone lines. We've got a lot of them tonight, beginning with our number one Cochran, Go One Better. No, we don't have that tonight, do we? We can do it anyway. Well, we'll do it tomorrow. John in Cranberry. Go ahead, John. How are you tonight?
Hey, Bob and Chris. Thanks for taking my call. First, a quick shout-out to the Duquesne Dukes with a 1-point win tonight. That's their 5th in a row.
They got the A-10 championship in Pittsburgh. Who knows? They may go on and win it in front of the home team.
They haven't lost in February, I believe.
No, they're good.
They're looking good. So, but my question is about the Penguins, and they start again a week from tomorrow. You could probably say they're the surprise team in the league, at least make an argument for it. My question is, Sydney's possible injury aside, do you guys, either one of you, think what is the one maybe move they could make before the trade deadline that could improve them for maybe winning a round or two in the playoffs? What's your thoughts on that? With again, sadly, without Sydney.
Yeah,
Thanks for taking my call.
Hopefully Crosby's going to be around for it at some point. He may miss some time, but I would say defensive depth, especially. It depends on how they want to go with this, because they may also be in a situation where they look bigger than what I'm thinking of right now. We've heard some of the names that are maybe going to be available to them, but if Crosby's out for hopefully not longer than this, and then I think that changes a lot of it. But I would look defense first over anything else at this point.
If Crosby's injury is even like say it's 3 to 6 weeks, let's say that's what it is, and so maybe even 4 weeks, he misses 3.5, 4 weeks, like a month. I think they can weather that, especially because here's one advantage of Russia not playing in the Olympics. Malkin, whose shoulder has been banged up for a lot of the year, even though he's played really well when he's been on the ice, he gets to rest and heal up. So you can weather that storm maybe for a little bit if Crosby misses any kind of legitimate time. They need, I think, specifically right-shot defensemen. They need defensive depth, period. But I would say the one good thing about that is you can add like more fit-oriented depth pieces without having to break the bank in terms of prospect cost, because they're trying to build something. So I'd go defensive depth. I'd look for right-shot defensive depth too, Bob, specifically. And I would try to make those little minor moves on the margins, because we've seen in the past those moves pay off for Penguins teams that ended up going all the way.
Vernon in Mount Washington is our next caller. He joins us here on the hotline. Hey, Vernon.
Hey, how you doing there, Bob? I want to thank y'all for having me on, first-time caller. I just wanted to give a shout-out to Steve the kid and hope he gets better, because, as a player, you're going to play, especially for your country. And one more other question. Do you know anything about if McCutchen going to be a hitting coach or coming back? I'll get off the line and go ahead and let you guys finish.
Well, Vernon, I was looking at some of his Instagram posts, and he seems like he's on a mission to prove people wrong, Chris. I don't know if you've seen some of these, but no, I don't think he's going to coach anytime soon. He wants to play at age 39.
I think I saw the video, I'm sure that you saw, Bob, that he posted. If I were to describe Andrew McCutchen in one word right this moment, it is defiant. He seems very defiant about the idea that he's done as a baseball player. He is basically suggesting he can get better at age 39. I wish him all the best in that pursuit. He is a great Pirate of the last 25 years, obviously the most beloved Pirate of the last 25 years, I would say. I really do think it is probably the end of the line for him. And it's easy for me to say that and not have to be the athlete himself who's used to being great and used to being wanted and having to acknowledge that end is finally getting here. But I don't sense that there are any teams out there looking to bite right now. And I don't know where he fits if there's a team with a deeper, more instant contender sort of status, how you'd fit him on your roster.
I think what's going to have to happen for him probably is wait. Keep yourself in good shape. Keep doing what you're doing on those batting cages, and somebody may need a bat at some point, and that probably is his best bet. But I appreciate his passion for the game. Certainly, it is not dead. He's trying to get back into it, and we'll see what happens with that. We're due for a break. We'll come back with more right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. It's 7 nights a week. Don't be a stranger. KDKA Plus and 93.7 The Fan. All right, welcome back. Let's go out to Chuck in Uniontown. Chuck, can you make it quick, please? We're up against the wall here a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks. All I have to say is it's best for the Pirates not to have Connor Griffin in the starting lineup on opening day. I think patience will win out over impulsiveness in this situation. Because what you want Connor Griffin to be good for the Pirates for the longest time. I think a little bit of patience is best, seeing that he's not played in AAA, only a handful of games in AA.
I think, Chuck, a lot of people would agree with that, except my only concern this year is I want him up here at the start if he proves to be everything they think he can be, because these games in April matter. Well, we saw last year they started terribly and could never, dig out from that hole, and that's a big hole that they created for themselves. Chris, I don't want to see them do that. They need to start fast this year. If he's part of the answer now, then I would do it.
I think Chuck's going to get his wish, though. I don't think he's going to start the season with the big club. Mike Trout and Juan Soto, who's been most closely compared with as a prospect. Soto only played 122 games, none above AA in the minors. Trout, however, played about 275 games in the minors and some in AAA before he exploded onto the scene. I think they're going to take the Trout approach with Griffin.
You're probably right. Real quick, Canada-Finland semifinal. Who do you got? USA-Slovakia. I still think Canada-USA. You?
Finland, USA, in a shocking result.
How about that? All right, we're out of time. Thank you, Chris. We'll do it again tomorrow night. Thank you guys for joining us on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Good night.